Jeff, Josh.
Jeff Roth.
Josh Warburton.
Hey.
We are the co-creators and co-festival directors of the Kanab Film Fest. The first ever 2019 Kanab Film Fest.
Brand new.
Super exciting.
Yeah, inaugural year.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Put this
see.
thing together in 2.5 months, 2 months, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just actually, that's how I met Josh. I pitched him the idea, and he was.
Well,
like,
where did you get the idea from another city?
I'm an award-winning filmmaker, so I've been to a lot of film festivals, and I know what I liked and I know what I didn't like, and I knew what I wanted to have if I had my own festival. So I already came in with a thought, and then when I discovered Kanab, I learned that there were 40 festivals a year, so like this is a party town, regardless of the size of the festival, and there was no film festival. It was a 48-hour guerrilla film fest, which is a different beast.
Seems like a good time of year because the tourist crowds aren't here yet.
Yeah.
So you've got hotel rooms.
That was Josh's strategic move.
Yeah, so the Little Hollywood Shootout historically has been maybe the first or second week of April, going back quite a few years. And so partly because of that, it's a 48-hour guerrilla film making competition. We thought to try to position ourselves the following weekend with the hopes that we get some of this year's brand new films that were created over that window submitted. As it turned out, that schedule didn't quite align, so we moved it the following weekend. And then, long story short version, we ended up talking them into moving the Little Hollywood Shootout onto our weekend to kind of collaborate and co-promote.
Good.
Yeah.
Who came up with all the ideas about the extracurricular activities you had?
You know, honestly, that was mostly Dana and Britt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are 5 of us. Besides the 2 of us, there are 3 other members. And so we nicknamed ourselves the Mighty Five because we thought that was clever.
Well, so I
Okay. Whose idea was the badges?
Mine. From a film fest in Marfa that I went to. Theirs were screen printed, and I was like, oh man, wouldn't it be awesome if they were laser engraved? So.
But for instance, the Mighty Five was like my idea.
Right.
It couldn't have been more collaborative between the 5 of us if we had tried.
Well, everybody kind of had an idea here, an idea there,
Totally.
bounced them off, and so
Yeah.
your idea ran here and your idea ran here.
You know what? I think everyone felt free to openly throw out ideas without fear of being criticized or having anyone ever say that's a stupid idea. I don't think I've ever heard that's a stupid idea.
I mean,
jokingly, but not seriously.
No, but honestly, no, because what could have been a stupid idea was, so we gave away Roth trophies, and we were shopping, and Josh was like, wouldn't it be hilarious to have like a best short and make it like a tiny little statue? We all busted up laughing. We thought it was hilarious.
Yep.
And like you could have easily been like, no, that's stupid, give them a regular size. But it's funny. And that's part of the like charm and the.
So in your travels of shows, you probably thought about, besides badges, trophies too, what trophies should look like. And they were unique.
I'm trying to think.
Well, Josh.
Yeah, I think that was one that I came up with, and we actually came up with a handful of different ideas. That was the one we settled on. So again, it was very. Again, I've run my own company, basically, from the top down style for 23 years, where this sort of a collaboration is quite different for me, and I really enjoyed it. It was nice to
delegate.
It was nice to delegate, but it was also, to be perfectly frank, it's nice to have my own ideas challenged sometimes. Because when you're the boss, they tend to just do what you tell them.
You didn't love that.
I didn't dislike it though. I'm always up for.
How can we make it better?
Right. Here's the thing: is everyone in the group's approach was, here's my version of how I think it could be awesome, and the next person would come in. Also, what if we did this and made it more awesome? And almost always the last person was like, that's awesome, how about this? And we'd end up with even bigger, crazier, cooler
It sounded like the merchants chimed in either for the trades or for the help. It sounded right. We walked around town and there were most of the stores had your poster up.
Oh yeah.
We were very warmly embraced. And I mean, frankly, we did a great job marketing.
We did, and I think that the town wants this kind of stuff, so I think they responded well to our effort.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, we did a good job marketing. I wouldn't say either of us are geniuses, but we promoted it the right way. Everyone knew about it. I personally was telling people, you know, when they asked what I was doing here, I was like, this will sell out. Get your ticket online. They're like, hey, you're a great salesman. I'm like, yeah, sure, fear of loss, but also, like, I promise you, this will sell out. We wanted to make it affordable, so the ticket prices were super low, $20 for a 3-day pass, and you easily walk away with probably $100 per person worth of experience. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at so we had the welcome party, first for the filmmakers for the first hour. The second hour included all 3-day pass holders and all sponsors with free food and beverages.
5-6 different dishes.
You know, fully catered just for that night.
Just for that night, yeah.
A few $100,
$500
just for the food for that night. As an
It might be
example.
more. Because
It probably will. But you know, that was the whole idea. Was, you know, what sort of experience can we put on for these people that they'll go out and talk to other people about it
Exactly.
and tell everyone how awesome our festival is.
How
And I think we accomplished that.
Oh yeah. I haven't heard one negative thing. One lady apparently said it was too loud. But you know, if you're in a bar, shake
just
the bar.
put some tissue in your ear.
Right.
There you go.
And you know,
We had blankets.
we wanted.
You had blankets.
Okay, so most people have decent home theaters these days.
Yeah.
And the only way you can outdo that, to be frank, is a bigger, better screen and bigger, better sound. And we did do that for us.
Right, you have to, because if you had an example is if you don't have a sound bar in your TV, you're not getting the movies. You're missing what a movie is about. So you projected and it worked. I thought it worked well. But I did hear the same thing, but I agree that it's like good music. It's like music out there. Something's good is to be heard, and you might have
put it at the
sense.
level so that it would be over the top of people talking.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Also, it was nice. If we were outside, we could hear where we were in the movie because there's a lot of holes in the bottom. The sound just. I'm surprised there were no noise complaints actually.
Do you think you're going to have? Is that venue going to be big enough? Do you think, or you think you have to go to a different venue?
I think we almost outgrew it this year, just to be frank.
Yes.
I think what the plan is, at least tentatively, is that we'll try to utilize it again moving forward for everything we can, and we'll probably complement that with the use of 1 or 2 other or 3 other venues.
Venues, right?
I don't want to make it super huge though.
No, and it's Kanab, so it'll always be to Kanab scale as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, good.
And the barn is cool. It's got cool movies.
Oh, it is.
It's got pictures of Dean Martin and John Wayne on the walls. And, you know what I mean? It's got history.
We had them move. Nate was our camera guy. He was filming everything. He actually works at Perry Lodge also. We had him move the projector. Like, it was clipping off this much of the movie. And I was like, no way, we got to find a solution. So he, like, screwed
Built a shelf.
Yeah, an extended shelf off of another shelf and lined it up perfectly. And the sound, he tweaked the sound. I mean, super talented guy. And
What was his name?
Nathan Forbush.
Nathan. Could do to him for that. That was
Yeah,
good.
he did all the videography over the weekend.
Right.
And so we paid him to compile it into kind of a making of the festival.
So that'll be a documentary that we have at our festival next year. We'll
Good.
probably kick off with that.
It's like what you're doing right now. This is the same thing that they did 50 years ago or 80 years ago. We look back at the old motion pictures and we look back at the stills. This is what we have going in your documentary. People will look back at this first Kanab Festival and say, well, that's what the people looked like then. And that's who put it on.
Yeah.
Good.
You know, I hate to get too
Bunch of
prideful.
long-haired dudes.
Exactly. Hate to get too prideful, but I am proud of what we have accomplished.
For sure.
Again, I only moved to Kanab 2.5 years ago.
7 months ago.
He and his wife are great.
You were
7
from
months.
Austin. Where are you from,
I
Josh?
grew up in St. George area.
Oh,
So the hour
that's
and a
pretty
half.
hopping place, I hear.
It's definitely grown. You know, when I was growing up, it was about the size of Kanab. It's grown from 10,000-ish people in the 70s, early 80s to where it is huge,
It's
80,000.
the fastest growing city in America.
St. George?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, good. Yeah, everybody's from there. I think Cunningham is from there too.
Yep. Well, he's based out of St. George. He travels. He's going different places. Hopefully, he's going to South Africa. He mentioned that to me upstairs for a gig. Yeah, I know. I'm like, man, that would be cool. He's like, someone actually live anywhere.
There were quite a few nice people from around the country and around the world that ended up here. I don't know if it was on purpose, but it was a.
Everything happens at perfect time.
Yeah, it was. So we're going on to next year and the next year. You probably have to digest everything you have so far.
Right, we just completed the festival in the last hour.
I
I'll point
know.
out.
You really aren't. You really aren't.
We haven't really even thought about it. Yeah.
You're not done with it yet.
No.
I mean, there are things that we wanted to do that we just had to say it's feature creep, and we're trying to overextend ourselves. So when we have 4 months, let's say, to put this on, we can pull that off. I mean, we should plan earlier than 4 months,
Yeah.
but I feel like as the Mighty Five, we'll be doing a lot of good things for the community, entertaining people, bringing joy and value for the foreseeable future.
Well, yeah, go on.
And what I was going to say is that we get to tie into the rich movie history of Kanab.
Right.
I think it's one of the reasons why it's been embraced at the level that it has is that, it's called Little Hollywood. I mean, I didn't make that. That's its name. That's the nickname for Kanab.
There's plaques all over town of like.
You can't
people
walk
that
half the
film
block
here.
without seeing one of those with somebody famous that you probably will recognize. They've been in Kanab, made movies there. So, to us, it just seemed like, when we talked about it, it is Britt and Jeff's brainchild. I had also thought that Kanab should have a film festival going back a couple of years. I wasn't going to go and do it all by myself. But once I realized that there was a couple other people who really wanted to do it and were willing to put in the time, I was like, okay, well, now's the time.
Yeah,
Kanab's ready. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Our second meeting, this is a funny story. Our first meeting, we met with Kelly Stoll of the Little Hollywood Shootout, and we left the meeting knowing Josh and I were sort of on the same wavelength about what we envisioned. And Kelly leaves, and I was like, dude, are you serious? He's like, well, what do you mean, am I serious? Are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not messing around. I want to do this. He's like, I want to also. And we're like, let's do this. So then the next meeting, I showed up with the logo and the URL, kanabfilm.com.
Right, and then I had the website built in a week.
I was like, here's my info.
So one of the things I would like to say is, of the five of us, and again, it is a little cocky calling us the Mighty Five, I suppose, but
well, it's based on the national parks.
It's playing on the Utah Mighty Five, national parks concept. It's amazing how the different pieces of the five of us have fit together to fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
We could probably go on at all the little things that one of the five of us did that probably none of the other four could have pulled off.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. If you just look at the list, it's like only Rick could have done that, only Dana could have done that, only Jeff could have done that, only Josh could have done that.
Did you have some friction, or it sounds like not much?
I mean, less than you might expect.
For sure,
you would expect a lot.
Just growing pains in a relationship where you're figuring out how the other person.
Jeff and I didn't even know each other before this project. We met and got to know each other through the project. So we basically birthed an event and built a friendship at the same time.
Yeah,
So,
I don't have friends with him.
yeah, I mean, we get along.
But
It's a strong friend.
I'm not going to spend time with this guy.
But it was very much a relationship building and learning about each other. And Britt too. I didn't know Britt until third meeting.
I know
fourth
you
meeting.
did. Yeah. I was like, Britt was a little upset. The Mighty Five came along after everyone was already working on this. So she was like, yeah, I just don't feel like Josh gets where I'm like, give him time. you are an absolute badass, and that is all that is required. I promise you, people see it, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, you're amazing," and that's how you feel.
Yeah. I mean, I think she wondered what the hell I was all about at the beginning as well.
Oh,
because,
for sure.
First take, who the hell knows? We do look like a couple of long-haired hippies. Hard to know what we're capable of.
That's true.
And true of almost anyone. But I think from the outset we were all a little bit cautious. Even Dana and Mike, it seemed like everybody was tentative for a couple of weeks.
Right.
And then I think by maybe second or third meeting, we realized that everyone was like heart totally in.
Right.
So.
And then I think we came together as friends. We had all of our meetings from like 9:30 to 11
In the morning.
12 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right?
Breakfast meetings.
Yeah. And
Lots of coffee.
we met at Peekaboo and they weren't open. Like they would let us come in and serve us coffee. So we would always walk out of there with like 5 cups of coffee and it was just jacked for the weekly meeting.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. And then we had our first like late night meeting so we could just get a bunch of stuff done.
And we did.
We got, Britt and I were there until
There was
12:30.
28 items on the agenda that
It was,
night.
oh my God.
Yeah.
We unboxed, we saw the steppery beef.
So you put this together in like a couple months from concept?
January 15th, we
Yeah.
literally got the grant that was an actual go. Because, it was only a week before that we applied for the grant. So if the grant money hadn't come in, to be honest, I don't know that we would have done it this year.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have. We wouldn't have any money to work with, and we probably said, okay, well, let's plan something for next year.
Right.
Let's get it
But
done.
honestly, it just kind of seemed, and thank God, but it just kind of seemed like the money came in. Like it was like, yeah, we have $1,800, but I bought the logo and the URL myself. You're hosting the stuff on your own end, so we didn't spend money for like kind of a long time.
Well, and the thing is, we were starting with only $1,800. We were like, okay, we're gonna have a shoestring budget. How can we make this thing awesome for as tiny amount of money as possible? And then when we went out and started hitting up sponsors and businesses, and they became sponsors, every single one, another $250 here, another $500 here. We got a presenting sponsor for $1,500,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it was like, well, gosh, we can offer more prizes. You know what I mean? We can buy more food for the people. We can make fancier badges than we originally. And we just went with all of that. So it really felt like the idea continued to be supported by the universe, however you want to describe
I'm
it.
going to go back to the badges. I'm similar to you. I've been to quite a few places where you have to have badges. And these badges are nice. These badges are nice compared to what you normally get.
Yeah.
So that's why I liked it. My wife said those are nice souvenirs. Usually a badge isn't a souvenir. You just throw it in your
Yeah.
And I've gotten a couple over the years that were, and I loved them, and I've kept them.
Oh yes.
I 100% stole this idea from the Marfa Film Fest.
But ours is better.
Yeah, it's cooler. Because our logo is they just have a text logo. Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
So I got the idea of this from them, and everyone embraced it. I brought it up at Peekaboo. I was like, guys, this is what I want to do for the badges. Just tell me you're on board because I really don't want to have to argue with you.
And there was
This
a
is
ton
what
of
I want.
things that's how we moved. We were on such a short time frame
Yeah.
that if something just like made enough sense, we just went with that.
Yeah.
Check it off the list that we've accomplished that.
And what you're saying here is what this business is all about. It's about collaboration.
Yeah.
And that is probably the toughest thing to do because you have to go at home at night not hating the person you're working with because of what happened. And it seems like you got over it or it wasn't there, and that's why it made everything work so nice and you feel so nice about it. So you don't feel relieved that it's all over, you feel happy that it's happened.
In some ways, I'm almost sad that it's done.
I mean, I'm definitely relieved.
I'm relieved.
I'm
Yeah.
super
No
stressed
question.
out. I feel like I got hit by a truck every day this week. Just, oh my God. It's been awesome. A wonderful experience.
And everyone involved, all of the volunteers, everyone was just so welcoming to everyone. And
That's Kanab.
I'm glad to hear that.
it was just wonderful, yes.
I feel like that's the magic of this place.
Yeah, well, my wife and I were going to eat, and Josh said, "Don't leave the festival. Just go in, get some food in there. You don't have to go out and just go watch some films." And thought, well, that's kind of nice. And so we did. We had a little bit to eat, and
Nice.
food was there. People were great. You always had coffee and hot chocolate and tea
Thank you.
and water and little snacks and popcorn. It was just so nice. How many people did you have? How many entrants did you have?
46.
Films? Yeah.
46?
submissions, 26 aired.
26 aired?
Maybe 27. I think Centigrade wasn't in the list.
Yeah, about 26, 27. Yeah.
Well, Centigrade, right? Centigrade was so Centigrade couldn't get a prize, right?
Yeah, I took the 5 pages of rules